31-18 run with the complimentary plays over the past couple of weeks. Took a split yesterday. Yes, I did lose at Packers-Lions total, but was I not right on the money telling you that Seattle and Philadelphia would not lose at home? And that teaser I gave you, a play that I told you was my second favorite on the board and one that I was going to use as a small wager as well, but I gave it to you for free. Okay, listen, we had to sweat our asses off in both of those games, but hey, a win is a win, and that's all that covers. Listen, in just a moment, I've got a couple of complimentary plays for you, one in baseball, and also going to break down and give you a free pick for the Bears-Jets contest. In terms of who's hot, me. Yes, me. 24-32 winning days, 11-5 football run the past 4 weeks, including a 7-1 roll in the NFL. Yesterday, cashing in with New Orleans. Strange game in terms of the line move there. It didn't go as I expected, and thank God it didn't, because the Saints certainly struggled yesterday offensively in that 20-9 win, but instead of going up, that price actually dropped down. You know, New Orleans went off at 9 at a lot of places yesterday, a solid 9.5 most places. So very strange game there. Again, the Saints could not convert in the red zone and their red zone opportunities. They moved the ball up and down the field, but they couldn't get the job done. All that being said, and by the way, you got that play for just $29, $70 off the regular price. I have now given you 17 discounted winners while winning 24 the last 32 days. Now, I just told you I'm going to give you the Bears-Jets tonight for free because I don't like the game. I'm going right back to baseball, guys, for what should be a 6th consecutive winner over the past week. It's my against the grain lock, a team that has continually failed in this particular situation. I think they actually deliver tonight, and it's another 10-dime play just like the Saints yesterday. And I've only won 17 of my last 20 of those. And guys, today you can save $75 off the purchase price, which means you get it for just $24 by using coupon code AL24, AL24, AL24. Now, Scott Delaney, 12-0 sweep since Thursday with his premium plays, his pay after you win plays, and his complimentary plays. Hey, 12-0 is 12-0. That's the bottom line. And $10 bettors in that short little time period have won. Let me just check his site for you guys. I just want to give you the right number here. You know, you never can find anything when you absolutely want. They've won $3,200 in those 4 subsequent days. Listen, today, his second biggest NFL play of the season, I chose it as the half-price play of the day. Why not? Again, I don't believe that you have to spend big money to make big money, and I continually give you the biggest plays from the hottest handicappers here at huge discounted prices. And today, the guy that is a perfect 12-0 since Thursday, you're going to get his play half price. And it is a 75-dime release on the Bears-Jets side. Now, I just had a 75-dime winner yesterday on the Seahawks, 75-dime winner on South Florida over UConn on Friday, which you got for just $34. Had a 50-dime play on the Falcons on Thursday night. This play is 50% stronger. And you get it for half price simply by using the coupon code HALF, H-A-L-F. And a little heads up here for you. Craig Davis, great call yesterday. Great call. 100-dime dog shocker. Kansas City, a 6-point road dog, winning by double digits at Miami. His play tonight, as he goes for NFL winner number 7 out of 9, same side as Delaney. Another discounted play tonight, Jeff Benton, who has been so good with his total plays over the past 6 months. Going for winning day number 35 out of 55 with a 50-dime interconference total of the year. You're over-under. You've gotten 23 discounted winners from Jeff over the past 8 weeks. And by the way, he's made $10 bettors, a little over $16,000 since April. And tonight you get it and save $90, which means you get it for $9. His interconference total of the year, Jets, Bears, over under $9 by using coupon code JEFF9, JEFF9, J-E-F-F, and the number 9. And by the way, Gabriel DuPont, who had a 39 play yesterday on the Bengals, 39 play on the total tonight, he and Benton are on the same side of that total. Congratulations going out to Brian Rosica. Hit his first ever 150-dime play yesterday with the Saints. So props going out to him. And that's pretty much all I want to say. Hey, let's conduct a little post-mortem here of the NFL Sunday that was for week number 3. As you know, the Dogs have definitely dominated the first couple of weeks. But this week, we're going to have the favorites with a decisive edge, no matter the outcome tonight, because, of course, on Thursday, for the third straight Thursday, you had a home favorite rolling in a double-digit win and cover. And then yesterday, you had the favorites actually go 8-6. So You certainly had the favorites delivering on Sunday, but as I warned you in yesterday's report, everything is cyclical. FYI, as I noted the past couple of weeks, the dogs, 4 of those 6 dogs won outright. Again, I've always believed that if you're going to play a dog, why not make a small little wager on them on the money line if it's a decent price to try to take some plus money back, just calling for the outright, the smaller play, just a fraction of your premium play, because generally when the dogs cover, they seem to win outright. And I'll keep you updated throughout the season. I warned you yesterday that I thought the trap game was going to be Buffalo and San Diego. I saw a lot of gamblers, handicappers, bettors falling into that trap. And I mean, the Bills showed you. I mean, big deal. They beat a so-so average Chicago team on the road, and they manhandled an injury-riddled Miami team at home. And then San Diego, no letdown. I mean, yeah, they blew that 2-touchdown lead at Arizona in that Monday night opener, but then they beat the hell out of Seattle last week, and then they took care of business yesterday over at Buffalo. And speaking of the Seahawks, is it clear to you, as it is clear to me, that this Seattle defense is not as fierce as it was a year ago? But then again, how many teams can be on a year-to-year basis in this age of free agency? And listen, Seahawks lost their 2 top pass rushers a year ago, and without Clemens and the other guy's name who escapes me, providing a consistent pass rush, it's left Richard Sherman and the boys a little exposed back there in the secondary, and that's why Peyton was able to generate 17 points in the fourth quarter alone. And what a strange game. I mean, yesterday's Seattle-Denver game was almost like when you have a run line play in baseball, and it's a tie game going into extra innings, and you're on the home team, you just don't expect to win it. Right? Because very rarely does somebody come up and smack a 2-run homer, okay? That just doesn't happen. And yet, the equivalent of that happened yesterday when Seattle just drives down the field and gets that touchdown, and as a 5-point chalk, we win by 6. So there you go. And, props to Matt Rivers yesterday. First ever blank check waive the rating game of the year play on the Seahawks. So props going out to him. And of course, Scott Delaney, who has the big play today, had the 75-dime winner yesterday, just as strong on the Seahawks as well. How about that Sunday night game between Carolina and Pittsburgh? Listen, the Carolina defense, it doesn't mean that, it had nothing to do with Greg Hardy not being in the lineup. Listen, they couldn't stop the Steelers, who are not a very good team. Despite Mike Tomlin and his post-game press conference being the usual prick that he always comes off as being, typical NFL coach. It's us against the world. Oh, you guys bad talk, bad mouthing of us, but we believed in ourselves, blah, 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 blah. Paraphrasing it, of course. Last night, Carolina's defense gouged for 264 yards on the ground, 454 yards total. But here's the thing. Carolina couldn't run last night. Carolina's backfield has just been wrecked by injuries so far in the first part of the season. And that's the thing with the Steelers. If you run the ball against the Steelers, you're going to have success. When you only get 42 yards on the ground like last night, the Steelers, they're going to actually probably have a good shot at winning. But this Steelers team, they have been hit hard by injuries at linebacker. They can't stop the run, just like they couldn't stop it last year. So trust me, guys, I don't know who they play this week. But if that team can run, you got to consider going against Pittsburgh throughout the season. Patriots, a fraud. But the public still buys into the Patriots because, it's Bill Belichick, it's Tom Brady, the Patriots did this. Listen, you only beat the Raiders at home 16-9. You got problems. You don't have a consistent offense. Your defense is just so-so. Look at Kansas City yesterday going to Miami. Now, Miami is the team that rallied from the double-digit deficit to beat up the Patriots in week number 1. That was their first home game. Their second home game yesterday, they put the pressure on Alex Smith nonstop. They sacked him 5 times yesterday, but they couldn't stop the Chiefs' running game, 174 yards, and Smith managed to hold on and throw 3 touchdowns. How about the Packers? One good half of football all season long. Really, that's it. And that was in the come-from-behind win against the Jets last week at home. They sucked at Seattle. You like that alliteration a little bit there, right? And yesterday, you couldn't do anything against the Lions. 223 total yards at Detroit. And listen, it's not like Detroit played that well either. I mean, the Packers give up points in droves. The Jets were scoring on them at will. Seattle scored on them at will. Yet the Lions only managed a handful of points against them at home. The Colts got the job done easily and got off the snide with their first win after an 0-2 start at Jacksonville. Nothing to be surprised of there, other than the fact that the Colts still believe that they can run the ball. Because Bradshaw and Richardson yesterday, 65 and 57 yards respectively, 132 total yards on 23 carries. So trust me, Chuck Pagano is probably in their next game going to try to establish the run again, even though their best chance is just to throw the damn ball. Dallas, still no defense, worst defense in the league last year. Jesus. You made Austin Davis look like the second coming of Bart Starr yesterday and Joe Namath combined. 30 for 42, 327 yards. They gave up 449 yards. No wonder that they had to rally from the big deficit to win that game 34-31. Best game on the board, though, as far as I'm concerned, so far in the first 3 weeks of the season, the Philadelphia-Washington game yesterday. I mean, Kirk Cousins comes out in that contest, and I mean, he just shredded the Eagles secondary, which everybody did last year as well. Eagles never got any pass rush against him. Their safeties just blown to pieces yesterday. Their cornerbacks destroyed yesterday. Kirk Cousins just had a great game. And yet Washington still lost. And Washington lost despite the fact that Philadelphia's offensive line, which really made the Eagles so successful in year number one of the Chip Kelly regime last year, because all the starters managed to stay intact and stay healthy all season long. End of the game yesterday, they had one starter who had shifted from his normal position to another, 4 backups, one of whom wasn't even on the team 2 weeks ago. I mean, this is how the Eagles' offensive line has crumbled. So they can't run the ball. So what did they do? Nick Foles, despite getting hammered all day long, just kept throwing. And the Washington defense, despite putting all the pressure on Foles, couldn't stop him. And that's what happens when you've got different ways to beat you. And that's what Chip Kelly's offense can do. Yesterday, the Redskins committed to stopping the run and played man-to-man so much in that secondary. And they just got picked apart by the Eagles in that one. But I'll tell you what, the Eagles got to get their offensive line back. And who knows, will Jason Peters be suspended after getting tossed out of the game yesterday? Their starting center, Kelsey, who is so good, especially leading the run game, suffered an abdominal injury yesterday. Lane Johnson, one of their starters, one more game to serve from that PED, 4-game suspension to start the season. They already lost one of their all-pro guards, Gaddis, earlier. So, Mathis. Oof. I was thinking of the Braves catcher. So they got some definite issues. Oh, by the way, anybody need a brittle, broken down quarterback that runs too much and isn't that good of a pocket passer? Robert Griffin's available for you guys. Okay, let's talk about tonight's game. There's nothing good to say about these two teams. I mean, the Jets, they barely get by the Raiders in week number 1 at home, okay? They play a dynamite first half at Green Bay in week number 2 and then get shredded in the second half by the Packers at Lambeau last Sunday. The Bears outplayed at home and upset in week number 1 by the Bills. And then they played one good quarter at San Francisco. But I think tonight's game is interesting from a matchup perspective because, listen, the key for the Jets tonight is actually twofold, and it deals with the running game. Offensively, you got the number 1 ground attack in the league here because Chris Ivory's run for 145 yards and 23 carries. Chris Johnson has run for 89 yards and 25 carries. Geno Smith has scrambled 17 times for 64 yards. Defensively, you have one of the biggest, most physical, and best run-stopping front sevens in the league, and that's with the Jets. So I don't think the Bears are going to be able to run the ball tonight. Matt Forte couldn't run the ball last week at San Francisco. I don't think they're going to have success running the ball tonight. What the Bears should beat you is through the air. Now, that assumes that Jay Cutler doesn't throw the ball to the guys wearing the green and white uniforms tonight, which is always a problem with Jay Cutler. Looked so magnificent in the fourth quarter last week at San Francisco, and you know how poorly he played in week number 1 at home against the Bills, and that's what you get from Mr. Uneven Performance. But the Bears should be able to throw the ball at will against a New York Jets secondary that wasn't good coming into the season and is even worse now because of injuries. So, which team do you like here tonight? The Bears don't play any defense, right? They just are an aging defensive team. They couldn't get any stops last year, but they can put points on the ball on the scoreboard through the air. Or you have the Jets, a team that believes in its defense, that wants to pressure the quarterback, that can stop the run, and can run the ball efficiently. Well, the key here tonight is going to be, can the Jets keep Cutler off the field? I've gone back and forth on this game. I was convinced the Jets were the play. Then I thought more about the Bears being the play. But I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to take a flyer on Chicago. I think Chicago will be able to outscore the Jets in this contest. I want to put my money on it. You want the real winner? Get Scott Delaney's pick. I'm just giving you my guess here. The other free play tonight, I'm going to go with the Twins minus $1.20 at home. Actually, minus $1.30 at home now, with Ricky Nolasco on the hill against Josh Collmenter of Arizona. Listen, Collmenter, 4.95 earned run average on the road versus 2.75 at home. Nolasco, 1.35 earned run average in his 3 starts this month, coming off 8 scoreless innings against Detroit on Tuesday night. Problem with Nolasco is the Twins have lost 7 of his last 8 starts because they've only scored 11 runs in those games. But Diamondbacks have lost 6 in a row overall, 10 straight on the road. They just were swept in a 4-game series at Colorado. In those 6 straight losses on the road, they've been outscored 41-16. They've lost 18 of their last 20 on the road overall. So I'm going to give it a shot with the Twinkies tonight as your other complimentary play. Good luck to you guys, and I will catch you again on Tuesday when we do this again.